Welcome one and all to Checkpoint Reach episode number 47. It's going to be a very special episode today, but before I tell you why, it's a very special episode. Joining me, we have...
Yo, what's happening? This is Captain Carbine.
And we have the Rolla here.
Hello, this is Rolla. Welcome back.
And yeah, she's back just to watch us fight and kill each other in this very special episode of Checkpoint Reach, where we're going to talk about Gamergate, because we figured we should. It's been going on for a while, I guess. It's been a thing, I think, for like a long ass time. We haven't really talked about it. I've been following it.
Well, we did touch on it in one podcast, but we didn't really go in depth.
We never invoked the word. We never invoked the name. We never invoked the Adam Baldwin calling card hashtag.
Did like invoke the name?
No, we did during the break. I know we never actually said it on like it's not recorded.
Are expanding in the point.
So anyway, we're here to talk about Gamergate, which we haven't since it happened back a long time. I did put up that Zoe Quinn article. That was the thing I did.
Yeah.
Man, oh wow, I got some hatred. That was great.
But anyway,
Feed the troll. Feed me. Feed me.
hence why we call you the Checkpoint Troll. Congratulations.
It's great. I fucking love this shit.
God damn it.
So here, Carbine's dying. If he dies on the podcast, we're gonna have a Kickstarter
Charity.
for his funeral. We're gonna make sure he's a fucking baller ass funeral.
Wow.
There's gonna be some chocolate fountains, like I don't know, a ton of pina coladas everywhere, like all the fucking pina coladas anyone could ever want.
You're just getting people to want them to die now. Leave
We're gonna call up Steve Aoki. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a party.
Anyway, getting to the issue at hand.
So we're here to talk about Gamergate. So for those who don't know, Gamergate's a giant shit show that's been happening for a while.
It's a giant mess of just everything.
Oh, it's great. It's great and
Basically,
terrible.
on one side, you have the gamers trying to, at the very least, talk about gaming, ethics in gaming journalism and critique. And, of course, you have the mainstream video game press and the media itself. Basically trying to censor anybody who tries to question what's been happening within the activity of the gaming journalistic side.
Yeah, this is gonna be a thing. So, actually, 1 second.
So,
I'm gonna let Carbine explain, but it's gonna be one of those podcasts. So 1 second, I'll be.
hold on, I'm just trying to tell the story.
We are going to give you the full stage right here, so wait on it. Wait on it.
Need something though for that.
Seriously, Doug, put the whiskey down.
You want any
Jesus. Remember, Rolla.
Nah.
Anyway, so just put it away. Like, let me tell this story. Anyway, so apparently, in the beginning. Well, you guys, let me tell the story. Jesus. Anyway.
Oh man, I just said that. Keep going.
Doug, can you please?
I'm sorry, we don't agree with you. Fucking make fun of you.
Alright.
I haven't even said anything yet.
Promise to be quiet for 2 minutes.
Oh, we shall.
Okay?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Checkpoint Troll, shut up! Anyway.
Thing, bro. So fun.
Starting now. Come on.
Alright, so going way back to probably like a year ago, there was this...
That is off.
Anyway, so a while back, there was this whole thing with Zoe Quinn, as you know, Doug wrote an article about.
That wasn't a year ago.
Well,
Okay, here, you're already wrong. Give me the microphone.
shut up and let me explain.
You almost broke Rolla's phone.
Ugh. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so basically a while back, there was this whole thing with Zoe Quinn where she allegedly slept with 5 guys, especially one of them who was a gaming journalist, like during a time when she was trying to promote her game, Depression Quest. And at the same time, there was a group called the Fine Young Capitalists who were trying to get more women into games by having a contest to, take different ideas from women, like books and movies and, especially video games. And obviously one of these ideas would win out. So apparently at one point, why the hell is there a timer?
Oh, there's your mock. Keep going.
God, turn that shit off!
You're using a mock. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Also, you're getting all this wrong because those 2 instances aren't related.
I haven't even gone to that part yet.
I told you, it's all gonna be fun. And continue.
Oh, jeez.
You're over the top.
Checkpoint Troll, shut up! Anyway, so apparently during this time, So apparently, like someone doxed the fine young capitalist after a winner was chosen, and apparently fingers are pointing to Zoe Quinn or somebody close to Zoe Quinn who doxed the fine young capitalist.
Really well. Okay, sing the phone. That's not where their beef started.
That's not where the beef started, but it's part of it.
Okay, because I've been following this from the drops. Okay, so he's kind of right, but he also started following this recently. So from the drop, this is what happened. So it's all started with this thing called the Zoe Post, which was written by Zoe, which at the time, which is why I'm like fairly more sympathetic to Gamergate than I was from the start of this thing. Before I was pretty like, oh, you guys are full of shit. I've come around to be like fairly more like substantially more sympathetic. But the reason I was out at first, I was super like, you guys are idiots, is it started with this thing from Zoe's ex-boyfriend, who accused her of cheating on her 5 times, which is lovely. And
Something I already said. Thank you very much.
Yes, but anyway, we're gonna get rid of the final capitalist coming and all that stuff in a sec. So anyway, so that was the thing. Now, from the drop of this whole debacle, I was firmly leave her the fuck alone. Like the only source, it was like Rowan started. The only source was her jilted ex-boyfriend. Which, call me crazy, but if you're trying to ask someone for a character reference, the last person you ask is their last significant other. I'm just saying, they're like the last person you call. So I'm like, because at the time that was the only source. So I'm like, you people are fucking nuts. Leave her. And she was already like, she also already got harassed when her game first went to Steam. She got a ton of shit. So I'm like, well, people are already like just ready to fucking jump on that, like, let's be mean to Zoe Quinn bandwagon. So leave her the fuck alone, people. Then it came out, some of that shit was true, and she did sleep with Nathan Grayson, and that was kind of an issue. Nathan Grayson writes for
guys.
Yeah, but who the fuck cares who those 4 other people are? Whatever. She wants to fucking sleep around. I don't care. The only issue, the only one that's an issue is the Nathan Grayson thing. So I'm gonna be more out.
Point.
Exactly, but you mentioned the 4 other guys like it was a relevant thing. It's not.
It's still part of the story.
No, it's not. It doesn't fucking matter.
Where do you think the whole 5 guys meme came
Because
from?
people were slut shaming her.
Anyway,
the sex part's incredibly unimportant. Well, it is, but it when it comes to Nathan Grayson, because Nathan Grayson writes for Kotaku. Nathan Grayson, now, when it first came out, people were accusing Nathan Grayson of writing a review for her game, which he didn't. A simple Google search will turn that up, and it turns out, guess what? He didn't write that. So, also, when that came out, I was more aligned with the anti-side, because I'm like, well, these guys didn't research shit. They're relying on this one blog post. It's fucking, you're nuts. But then, comes out that maybe she did kind of sleep with him, and he did write 2 things about her. They were pretty favorable. They were pimping her shit.
Thanks to something called Game Journos Pro.
Okay, and that's where it came, because the 2 mentions he had of her game were very minor, and it's a free game. So I'm like, is that like an ethical breach? Probably. Does she profit from that ethical breach? No. Well, no, actually, she doesn't. So is it gross? Yes. Is it like, let's burn the internet down? No. Then the Game Journal Pros things happened, and then other stuff came out, and that's where I'm like, maybe people have a case here. So let's start with because we did mention Finding Capitalists, and they are a local Toronto crew. So, hey guys, if you're listening to this, could we have an interview? You can email me at douglasnash@checkpointgames.ca.
Moving on.
And I'm trying to listen to an interview. Chill the fuck out. So I'll interview. We'll have a cool little chat.
This one time, so just make it.
No,
count.
we aren't. We're gonna if we have interviews we can do. We're gonna do interviews. So anyway,
count me in.
see, roll us in. We want to delve deep into the shit show that is Gamergate. So anyway, this thing came out with the Finding Capitalists. The Finding Capitalists, like Carbine said, are a charity group in Canada, particularly in Toronto, who are interested in helping more women create video games. They had a schism. So when they started their thing, Zoe Quinn actually saw what they were doing. She's like, oh, that's cool. I want to talk with the Finding Capitalists. The thing is, the Finding Capitalists and Zoe Quinn and a few other feminists had the Finding Capitalists also identify as radical feminists. They had a dust up over political differences, whereas the Finding Capitalists thought it'd be a better way to get women in the video game industry by having a woman produce and create a game, because it's showing companies that, hey, women have cool ideas, you can make fucking money, you should hire more women. Whereas the other feminist group they were doing the thing with had an issue with they should be focusing more on education. Anyway, this caused a schism. Zoe Quinn was on the other side of the Finding Capitalists, and then tried to have them shut down, calling them oppressive. And this also ties into Game Journal Pros, because when that happened, they tried to contact people in the gaming press. The people in the gaming press all said, pretty much like at first we're like, oh, like they're all like San Francisco, they're pretty social justice minded. They're like, oh, now's my chance to educate you about why you're an asshole. They told them what they were doing, and then all the game press, according to Fighting Capitalists, all alleged, said essentially the Fighting Capitalists were like told them what they didn't do. And they allegedly, and the game journalists came at them and like, oh, I don't know. Like this seems all pretty up and up. Like I don't know what her issue is, but if Zoe Quinn says it's fucking bad, it's bad, and we don't want to fuck with we don't want to fuck with that. So
Do we really?
So anyway, so then essentially, that did a number on their game jam. They were eventually bailed out by Adam Baldwin, who's Firefly, Last Ship, and
But wait,
that
something
one
else
Vietnam
that
movie
you're
fame.
forgetting, Doug?
But the
right after the whole game jam with
yeah, and that's all,
and
yeah.
and that there was a replacement jam called Rebel Jam by Zoe Quinn, where
Oh,
all proceeds went to her personal PayPal
Oh yeah,
account.
Also, yeah, he's right, and she took cash money for that, and that jam hasn't happened yet, as far as I know, but she has cash money, so, which is lovely.
Oh yeah, by the way, thank you for repeating everything I just said.
Except you got some stuff wrong, because like I said, the Fighting Capitalists had the beef with Zoe Quinn long before, and then after when you said that yes, the Fighting Capitalists were docs. Essentially, a docs is when someone takes all your personal information they got and they give it to the world, and it's shitty and terrible, and if you do that, you're an asshole. Anyway, moving on. And it's alleged that someone alleged, not the Fighting Capitalists, someone alleged it had Zoe Quinn or something to do with Zoe Quinn did it. In an interview with David Pakman, David Pakman pressed one of the Fighting Capitalist spokesman on the matter. He said, as far as he knows, it has nothing to do with Zoe Quinn, and then you should leave the matter be. So, to say Zoe Quinn has something to do with it, when even the people who were affected by it deny it, is a little bit much. So, moving on. So that's where this started, and then a thing came out called Game Journal Pros, and that was broken by one Milo Yiannopoulos over at Breitbart, everyone's favorite neocon in the bag for the Republican newspaper.
Seriously, what is it with you and neocons?
Because Breitbart's full of crazy neocons. When I went to their site to look at the Game Journal Pros thing.
You're joking, bait
Look, off
somebody.
neocons, back to the story.
Anyway, that said, even though that website is full of like crazy conservatives, which is why they were written off by Anti-Gamergate, I think that's kind of dumb because he did still break a story that is legit and no one is denying its legitimacy, and it's called Game Journal Pros. And the thing with Game Journal Pros is it shows there's a bunch of people that are like in the game journalists crew, the clique, that they all talk together, and there's serious like echo chamber group think going on, and there are a few good people in that group, and one of them is undeniably a good person because one of them did send Milo that email, that group. So someone in there who's not been identified is a solid person, and props to that guy or gal for doing that. Someone sent him that, and this led to that coming out. And that's in Game Journal Pros, some people have defended it in that group, saying, "Oh, it was just us trying to get multiplayer sessions together to review games," which is a totally legitimate thing to do, right? Like, totally legitimate thing to do. But there was a ton of groupthink going on, and it is kind of gross. It is kind of like collusion. So that happened. I also think Total Biscuit commented on that too. Total Biscuit thought it was disgusting. And Total Biscuit did also say that yes, there is one for YouTubers, but it's mainly, I think, it's just Polaris people that he's a part of, and he's part of the Polaris network. So they're technically his coworkers.
So, i.e., it's pretty much just networking.
Yeah, well, no, it's coworkers, so it's fine. This is coworkers. It's not like they're colluding with like other publications. So that happened, and then when announced Navarre Giant Bomb was, I know a lot of the game journalists when that came out were super dismissive, going, "Well, you should see all the other clicks I'm with," and that's kind of where I started to come up with Gamergate. I'm not gonna say I'm pro Gamergate. I'm not gonna say I'm anti Gamergate. I'm neutral, but that's kind of where I started like thinking more about the Gamergate side, because once that turn happened, like a lot of people in the gaming press started to become very dismissive of pro Gamergate people who had
more than 10 articles basically all they're saying is that the identity of gamer is dead. Kotaku. So pretty much Kotaku, Rock Paper Shotgun, Ars Machina, BuzzFeed, whatever. So anyway, so basically all these major gaming news outlets pretty much said that gamers were dead. they're done. They're dead to them. Which is kind of stupid because being a gamer, by technical definition, means you're a video game enthusiast.
All right.
You're a fan of video. Will you please?
No, but I want to comment on this because we're trying to have a conversation.
Can I at least finish first?
Christ, okay, well, you're like really upset about that.
Because you keep interrupting me. God. Anyway. So basically, you can't shrink the term gamer to just one demographic of white cis males, or pretty much everybody just knows as white straight males, because if you're a fan of video games, then obviously anyone and everyone around the world, be they male, female, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, can be considered a gamer if they identify themselves as a gamer. So, in any case, so basically what they're saying from all these articles is that, keep in mind, I'm black and I've been gaming for over 18 years. So basically they're saying that I don't even identify as a gamer in the first place, and even if I do, I'm pretty much dead to them. Oh, well, thank you, Kotaku. Thank you, Rock Paper Shotgun. Thank you, BuzzFeed. Thank you, all you guys, for saying that we're basically dead to you. Because this way, more, up-and-coming websites like us can rise up, take over, so that we can give people real gaming journalism, so that way we don't have to listen to your crap anymore.
Well, Carbine, don't you know the predominantly staffed sites the predominantly cis white male sites need to tell you as a black man how to feel about your own race? Didn't you know that?
That's not the point!
I'm agreeing with you by making a joke!
Oh boy.
Anyway,
And you guys wonder why I feel so frustrated.
Yeah, why did you choose to come?
I came today because we have a white and black guy talking about this issue.
Oh yeah, I guess we need someone with an X chromosome, I suppose. It's required. Equal representation and all that shit. But now those articles is definitely kind of clinched the me taking the other side way more seriously. Because until then, I was actually following both sides just because I find political shit super interesting. So I'm like, there's a political fight. I need to watch this happen right now. It's my fun time. For me, it's me time. So, and that's where I started to kind of come over, because I'm like, they're like going full on here. Like, what's going on? This is crazy. And it's like, and I do agree with some of their political stuff. Like, I know Polygon is like kind of notorious for their social justice stance. I actually like Polygon as a website. I don't agree with everything they say, but I kind of like, I like some of their stuff, to be fair. So first I was super sympathetic with them, but then the more they published that article, and then more stuff started coming out where people would where if someone had a critique, they're like, especially like an E. Sarkeesian, or there are certain things where if you said it, it is not okay to say it because you are a
Basically, they try to shut you up and label you as a misogynist and a sexist, which in itself is sexist because they're judging you based on your gender. If that isn't the most matronizing, hypocritical thing.
Patronizing. It's called patronizing.
Have you ever heard of a matriarchy? Yeah.
Stop being so men's rightsy here, man. It's creeping me out, bro.
So if people can say, no, don't patronize me,
you're gonna tell me you watch Stephen Molyneux videos, and I don't know what to think anymore.
Ugh. Anyway. So basically, these guys are being hypocrites in their own nature. So, and they're basically trying to censor us from asking questions. What's the problem with asking questions? Why can't we know what the hell is going on? Like, what you got to hide? Like, are there really, like, skeletons in your closet? Because if so, then maybe this should be brought to court. Just saying.
No. There's nothing you can take legal action on. But yeah, so that started happening, and there was other stuff too, where there was some of these and ever since, it's just like, ever since those main things have happened, it's just been just a fight. Like, nothing really major's happened, but it's just been like a non-stop fight between these two groups. Like, ceases, like, just on and on. There's been no reconciliation. The last highlight in this giant, like, Gamergate, anti-Gamergate fight was Total Biscuit, who identifies as pro-Gamergate. So, of course, we all know Total Biscuit's a total racist. Like, come on, he's British. Like, and white. Like, that should be enough for you.
Doug, that was if you're trying to make a joke, that was in poor taste.
I was being sarcastic. It was sarcasm.
That was still in poor taste, regardless. Why do you think I get pissed off at most of your jokes?
I was being dismissive.
The reason why it was poor taste is because of the fact that he was British, and
I'm half British. I'm allowed to.
No, you're not.
Yeah, my family's from over there.
See, this is
okay,
the
for you,
whole
just
problem.
Shut up for a sec.
Also, not a race.
Look, while it may be a joke to you because of the fact we're talking about the whole prejudice about gender and racism, that joke itself was not really qualified for this particular podcast.
You're so social justice here right now.
I can play the neutral person
You're
right
not being
now.
neutral here.
Checkpoint troll.
So
Can we...
you guys are overreacting over this. So anyway, because you all know he's a horrible racist, which he's not, obviously. He's not. He's like a stand-up guy.
Then why
since-
would you mention it?
Because people are accusing him of being a horrible racist, because he is, because he talked to people of Gamergate. I think Total Biscuit when it first happened kind of wants to be him and Boogie on
Boogie 2988,
who's a solid bro, who I've never met, but he seems like a real cool dude. We're trying to be like the peacemakers. They were trying to like get everybody to like come together, and Total Biscuit, like their Gamergate thing, did bring some stuff to light that Total Biscuit has problems with the gaming industry, which is he feels is way too cliquish, which is all the people are in San Francisco. They all hang out together. They all know each other. They're all tight bros, and they all have like the same political beliefs, right? Which is fine or whatever, right? But it'd be nice if there was some more diversity going on over there, right? So he's like. So he goes, they have a bit of a point, and next thing you know, it's just the dogs are out, like the hounds are after him, and like Boogie 9288. I thought
2988. Get it right. Get it right.
Okay, Francis. We'll call him Francis. Everyone knows what I mean when I say Francis. And he was down with Total Biscuit, and he was trying to play peacemaker, and just people went after them for not being 100% pro anti-Gamergate, and it was
that's anti-Gamergate. There's no pro anti-Gamergate.
Yeah, you're with anti-Gamergate. Anyway, so we just went at him, and it was insane, and that's when I started to go, oh no, it's not that these people are horrible misogynists. They'll just go after anyone who disagrees and just shut them the fuck down. And
wait, doesn't that scream that something suspicious is going on?
Well, it's censorship, and we're gonna get into like how it's like ties into Atheism Plus, because I'm familiar with that as well. And that's when I'm like, well, maybe the pro side has a point. Like, this is disgusting. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything the pro side says, but their treatment at the hands of the anti side is disgusting.
Especially
like, it's not
when
okay.
You have like massive trolls just running around causing trouble everywhere.
Exactly, right.
But if you were to look at it from like a neutral standpoint, like the anti-Gamergate side is actually feeding off of this. They want the chaos, right? And plus, they can just like flip it around and say, oh, look at these guys. These guys are trolling me. These guys are harassing me, which nobody condones. Nobody condones harassment on the internet. Yet you flip it around and saying it's from Gamergate.
Exactly. It's like when someone goes, well, that Muslim over there is a terrorist, so therefore every Muslim's a terrorist because that one guy's an asshole, and everyone goes, no, you're a bigot. It's like a similar idea, which is, yeah, that guy's a dick. This is like, you're like a leader. They don't have a pope. There's no pope of pro Gamergate. They're a leaderless movement of just like people who identify as there's an issue here. Are some of that movement going to be assholes? Yes. Is there a requirement for membership in pro Gamergate? No, there isn't. Right? Just like there isn't really a requirement to be part of any religion as long as you follow the text. And everyone interprets the text differently. So no one would say, oh, but that guy's part of that religion's an asshole. Everyone in that religion's an asshole. No. They interpret the text differently. Same with Gamergate.
And yeah, which is the whole contradicting ideology behind anti-Gamergate, where they say if you try to question what's going on, you're instantly a misogynist and a sexist. Yeah. Sure, label me based on my gender, you hypocrite.
Yes, which is when I started to have a problem with anti-Gamergate. Until then, I was kind of whatever. I was like, this is interesting to watch, but I'm taking a side. And I'm still going to take a side. Because there are some people on the anti-Gamergate side who I agree with a lot of stuff. But that's when it was like, you guys are nuts. This is insane. And then on top of that, I follow Mega Manda on Twitter, who's she's Angry Joe's
ex-girlfriend.
Oh, ex-girlfriend. I thought they were a thing.
I thought that too, but like I think at some point she confirmed that they are not together. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Because she started going after Total Biscuit on her Twitter like all the time, calling him horrible things, saying,
"What, Mega Manda?"
Yeah, oh yeah, she was on him. She was like retweeting shit. She's like Total Biscuit and her and like Movie Bob Chipman. She was like, oh man, there was like a day where she was just fucking going at Total Biscuit.
Wow, Mega Manda, I never thought.
And then Bob Chipman did going, he willingly shared time with Roguestar. He's a piece of shit. And I'm like, well, yeah, Roguestar might not be the nicest person in the world. and you might not agree with everything he says, but to say you talk to somebody willingly means means you agree with that person is nuts. That'd be like saying we should never negotiate with anyone we ever disagree with in war, because that means you're just like that person, because you willingly talk to them. What kind of fucking argument is that? That is insane. So,
Because, okay, if you... say, for
well, it's
example-
guilt by association, which is disgusting, and I
But you
find
know what?
appalling.
That's ridiculous because, say for example, like we're in like a ridiculous bullshit war that nobody ever wanted to go with, like in the first place.
Also, by the way, I kind of object to using the term war to describe this, because no one's died, there's no murder, there's no guns, there's
I'm
no
using
kabooms.
an example.
Okay.
Jesus. Anyway, so say for example, Doug and I are like in a war that nobody really wanted to go and do, right? Like, say for example, like this is like a whole misunderstanding. Like, all Doug and I need to do is just sit down at the table, like just discuss some stuff, and if we, work out our problem, then everything's gonna be fine in the end. But unfortunately, this is not what's happening.
That's true. Which exactly, no one and there have been some attempts to have people come to the table, but most of the attempts have always just fallen apart. Like no one's responded. And David Pakman, who's probably tried to organize this once, who's done some fantastic reviews. And me and David Pakman's kind of like views on Gamergate kind of aligned. Whereas David Pakman was like, yeah, I can kind of like see the side of the anti-side more than the pro side, but like
He doesn't. He's completely neutral.
I know, no, he said I'm neutral, but he had a video where he kind of described his side, right?
Yeah, where he's
Which
like
is-
saying
and yeah.
how this whole debate is probably not the most important thing in the world to him.
Exactly.
Because, he's more concerned with like starvation and government corruption and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's totally cool.
But see, well, and he doesn't work in that industry, right? And if you aren't active in that industry, it shouldn't be. You should not give a fuck about Gamergate. You should just go about your life. Just
But here's
do
the thing.
your shit. If you're Chris Hadfield, go to space and do space
But
things.
here's the thing. Most gamers, like myself, Doug, and Rolla here, and many others who associate themselves as gamers, are passionate about video games and the video gaming industry. And here on Checkpoint Games, we talk a lot about the industry.
Also, fun fact: we're talking about books soon. We're gonna have a book club.
Right. Any case.
Books.
In any case. So in any case, there's been this like whole debate, and just like there are other players like Brianna Wu, like Anita Sarkeesian, and it's just been like this whole mess. But really, when you sort out the mess, and if I were like judge and jury in a courtroom from a neutral standpoint, I probably rule in favor of Gamergate, because from what I've seen, it's literally when I sort out the whole mess, it seems like there is something going on here. There's something beneath the surface that we don't know about yet, and I don't want to jinx it here.
Like somebody's hiding something. Is that what you're? That's what you're kind of. You've been saying that a bunch, but like,
Yeah, like
what do you think it is? Like, you have an idea? Because you
For
can't-
example, like when there was this other interviewer besides David Pakman who Brianna Wu was supposed to interview, and Milo
Yiannopoulos.
yeah, him. So anyway, like Milo was trying to get an interview with Brianna Wu, and
Those two have major beef, and I can kind of see why those two have beef. But continue with your story.
anyway, so basically he was supposed to do an interview with Brianna Wu, and he sent Brianna Wu a script, which is not technically something that you're supposed to do.
Well, not as good questions, but
yeah,
yeah.
you get what I mean.
he let her approve questions, which is something you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. So, because I've studied like journalism, so it's not really like something you're supposed to do. But in any case,
And I think to boot, I think he was even on David Pakman about it. And he said he's only ever done it once, and that was for her.
and that was in good gesture.
Yes, in good faith, because he has said because she's transsexual, and he has said some unfortunate things about the transsexual community. So I guess it was probably like to go, hey, look, I'm gonna be a human being.
But anyway, so basically he wanted to set up like an interview with her, and he repeatedly called her like time and time and time again, and eventually she just like gave him the fade, and by the deadline he never got that interview. And obviously he made a video, I've seen it, where he talked about what was going on. And at the same time, like when David Pakman was interviewing Brianna Wu
Accusing her of doing a hit piece. It was great.
so which means
He was
so which tells me that something is actually up. Like she's running around like a chicken with a head cut off.
And David Pakman's interviews, by the way, for the like, granted he doesn't ask anybody softball questions, but if anything, he's like way harder on the pro gamer gay people, like substantially like more intense on them, right? And they've been cool under pressure, answer these questions, it's fine. But like people like he also had E. Miles Chong on. That interview was magical. Never have I seen someone more hostile in a more softball interview ever. It was great.
You mean Arthur Chu?
Oh man, it was magical.
Yo, like Arthur Chu, man.
It was
Arthur Chu.
magical.
Bro,
Bro needs to chill out.
that we can agree on.
We actually what we need to do is we need to like take that whiskey I have in that cupboard and mail it to him.
Oh man!
And then write it for your next David Pakman interview. You're welcome. Checkpoint Pro.
I'm just gonna stay quiet through that whole conversation.
No, you have not seen this interview, Rolla. It is intense.
Yo, the guy is going off on David Pakman for the weirdest of reasons. David Pakman. Keep in mind,
your whole
great though. It's a great interview. Oh, it's great to watch.
It's like David Pakman. He has been nothing but fair to both sides. I don't think he was trying to, favor any side. No, I believe him.
No, but Arthur Chu's beef with David Pakman was David Pakman wasn't taking the anti-side. That was his beef. He said blatantly there aren't two sides here.
Yeah, I know.
In his interview, it was magical.
Which is the biggest dichotomy ever. How are there not two sides to this? There's always two sides to every conflict.
Also, and he's like you. And I think Dave Pakman had the most killer point in that whole conversation. Even it's like you give them a platform to spout their hateful. They're going to drag people over their hateful thing if you let them have their platform. And he's like, you're telling me if I had by giving them a fair interview. He's like, you're telling me if I had a completely fair interview with a Nazi, suddenly everyone would join Nazis. If anything, I think a fair interview with a Nazi would make it clear how fucking crazy they were. And then. Well, he didn't say Nazis because they've had like American white power people on the show before. But he gets a chuckle out of like making people look like idiots for being bigots, right?
Right.
That's what David Pakman does for funsies.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of childish behavior,
devastating point.
Hold on, wait. Speaking of devastating points, I swear there was one time during a debate, it was an online debate, and there was a live stream by the name of Sargon of Akkad. Right?
Yeah.
And so I was watching.
Who was he debating?
He was just watching the debate, and he was talking with, he was commentating on different people's points of view, and obviously there was a moderator for the debate, right? But Arthur Chu just went off on everybody.
Oh man, that man has some issues.
And I swear at some point he even rage quit. I'm like, wait, what?
Like I said, we should send that man a bottle of whiskey because he clearly needs it to chill the fuck out.
Arthur, and you know what? This guy has been on Jeopardy before, so for somebody who
he should be rock solid, right, under pressure.
And for somebody who as intelligent as he is, right?
Yeah, to be fair about Arthur Chu, we're not saying you're an idiot because you're clearly smart. You're on Jeopardy. You're clearly smart. You're clearly not an idiot,
as we have clearly just stated, right? But I mean, come on, man.
Chill the fuck out, bro.
Anyway, moving on.
Don't worry. Send us your PO box. We'll send you a nice bottle of whiskey. It'll be great. I mean, not a nice bottle of whiskey. I don't have a lot of money. We'll send you $40K for some shit.
Now you're just belittling him.
A little bit. Well, I don't have a lot of money to send him nice whiskey. So anyway, moving on. So it's just been kind of going back and forth like that. When Total Biscuit won the Gamer Awards, there was more for trendiest game, whatever the hell that means. There was more. Total Biscuit's a horrible misogynist.
He's misogynist, is sexist.
I almost called him misandrist, but he hates himself too.
Which again, due to the ideology behind it, the guys who are actually calling him misogynist and sexist are actually sexist in it of themselves. So who's the real victim here?
Oh man, no one is.
I love the contradictions and the hypocrisy here. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's great. It's immense time. So, I think in sex segment we're talking about the feminism in video games because I have the audio from this brand new because this way we can get Rolla in on this because she doesn't know about this total shit show that is the Gamergate fight.
By the way, we haven't let Rolla speak this entire time. Rolla, what do you think about what's going on?
Because we are clearly misogynists. We have a woman here just for to be a shield and we'll let her talk.
No, I specifically came just to see you guys have that whole argument going on.
Okay, but we are gonna
But here,
Okay,
like,
Yeah, go ahead, ask
but just to be clear,
We're doing a
most
break,
of the
though,
fighting
before
was
I
just
put-
like Doug interrupting me.
it was
and
for
not telling me-
funsies. It was to keep this, for funsies. All right, so next thing we're actually going to talk about something Rolla can take part in, because we just watched Nina Sarkeesian's newest video.
5
Well, actually,
minutes.
it wasn't her newest video. It was Ian McIntosh. Is it Ian or Matthew or?
Basically, just call him hashtag full Macintosh.
No, but what's his actual name? Let's give him some respect. Let's not be a monster.
okay. I think it's
Is Ian?
In all honesty, I can't even remember. I am sorry. I can't even remember.
That's okay.
Well, anyway, Nina Sarkeesian's pal, Mr. McIntosh, made a video called 25 Privileges that you have your male gamer that are invisible. You can't tell if you don't
And
have
I
them.
swear to God, most of these are two-way streets in and of themselves.
Let's wait.
Now this will be more interesting because me and Roll actually agree with a lot of this shit. So, not all of it. I think Rolly said 75%, and I'm thinking I'm there
Not that
with
I'm
you.
saying, not that I'm
Wait.
saying he's totally wrong. Not that I'm saying he's totally wrong. But there's a lot that can be explained from those points.
Wait. We're gonna. I was saying if anything.
I gotta
we might
re-rip the
want-
audio though. Pardon?
I was saying before that. If anything, if we bring this topic up, we're gonna have a huge debate on it.
No, we will. Oh yeah. Oh man. So, okay. Yeah. So to keep this from being like MRA versus feminist fight, we're.
You're the only one who's making it out like that.
That's true. Actually, you were sending me text messages after you finished your feminist research. And you're like, I don't want. I remember you purposely said, I don't want to sound like an MRA. And I'm like, at least you do realize that MRAs are crazy people. So you know what? I respect. But so anyway, I'm gonna copy this here. So we'll be right back in the second segment. And welcome one and all to segment number 2 of Checkpoint Reached, episode number 47. I'm your host, Doug, still here. We still have Carbine.
Yo.
Hello.
And we're starting talking about Gamergate.
Well, yes, we are, but now we're talking about feminism because we cast a wide net here at Checkpoint Games.
Even though we've already touched on that before
And
in
we
our
pride
last...
ourselves on our diverse staff we see here at Checkpoint Games.
And I know, I should have seen this coming, but yes, we're having a part 2 on something.
Also, because we have Rolla here, and Rolla can talk about this more broadly because she isn't aware of the shit show that is Gamergate, but she's aware of feminism because she went to a university in Canada. So of course she is.
College.
And after doing my
Ryerson,
own
was it
research
Ryerson
on...
University?
Yeah, Ryerson University. I went there for 2 years, so.
Oh yeah, Ryerson, you
And
are
after
you.
doing my own research on feminism, oh boy.
Feminism,
Did I have some raging headaches?
third wave feminism for the win, guys.
Oh, it's not even feminism at all. It's sexism. Downright sexism. And I can get into it in full-on detail.
If you do that, you will have a non-stop 20-minute.
Which we're not going to do. So we
Exactly.
thought this through. So what we instead did is the fine folks over at Feminist Frequency, so Jonathan McIntosh and everyone's favorite infamous feminist, Anita Sarkeesian. Also, Anita Sarkeesian, I must shout out, is a York University alumni. So what up, Anita Sarkeesian? Come be on this podcast because we share a post-secondary institution.
And as much as I love to debunk your theories, everybody and their dog has already done so.
I'll be nice to you, though, unlike Carmen over here. We'll have a cool conversation. We'll talk about why Alcalade West and Alcalade East are dumb names for campus buildings. It'll be great. That'll be a reference only 5 people get. It'll be fantastic. So anyway, moving on. So anyway, they put up a video. So Anita Sarkeesian didn't. I think he just saw on her channel, but Dabrowski, Jonathan McIntosh put up this video. Also, one thing we're just gonna play the audio from this video before we talk about it because fun things. Some of us agree with it, and some of us don't. So I think it'd be fun to do. And we're gonna play the whole thing. Also, because you aren't gonna get any video, but then you might recognize people in this little video. And such as
Greg Miller,
who
also sent us that nice little message of
yes, Greg Miller can do no wrong.
shout outs to you, man.
He fucking pimped my fucking review. So one Gregory Miller can do no wrong. They also
And Adam Sessler.
They have some they have a bunch of like high profile dudes from the San Francisco Bay Area video game press clique that are like one of which I gave money for the Kickstarter. So when Outerlands comes out, I'm excited. So I can't wait. So anyway, no, seriously, we're gonna have the Outerlands podcast when it comes out. We're gonna hype for Outerlands. So anyway, so without further ado, we're gonna fade out right here, and I'm gonna put in the audio of their video. Which, by the way, if you do like it, don't be a monster. Go visit their video, all embedded in the podcast description. Give them a hit, whatever. You can't like or dislike the video or comment because that's all disabled. But you can,
which I find very sneaky.
But you can give them a hit, and I'm sure they'll like that. There's no ads on it, so maybe don't. Because I don't think they get ad hits for it, so it doesn't fucking matter. So anyway, without further ado, I'll put that in here, and we'll be right back.
Many women have courageously spoken out about how they experience alienation and harassment in gaming. Despite this fact, too many male gamers dismiss the issue as no big deal and insist that there isn't really a problem. One of the luxuries of being a member of a privileged group is that the benefits afforded to us often remain invisible to us. Working towards solutions requires that male gamers become aware of the ways in which we unconsciously benefit from sexism. We can't work to fix something unless we first understand its cause. With that in mind, the following is a checklist of some of the concrete benefits that male gamers automatically receive simply for being men.
I can choose to remain completely oblivious or indifferent to the harassment that many women face in gaming spaces.
I am never told that video games or the surrounding culture is not intended for me because I am male.
I can publicly post my username, gamertag, or contact information online without having to fear being stalked or sexually harassed because of my gender.
I will never be asked to prove my gaming cred simply because of my gender.
If I enthusiastically express my fondness for video games, no one will automatically assume I'm faking my interest just to get attention from other gamers.
I can look at practically any gaming website, show, or magazine and see the voices of people of my own gender widely represented.
When I go to a gaming event or convention, I can be relatively certain that I won't be harassed, groped, propositioned, or catcalled by total strangers.
I will never be asked or expected to speak for all other gamers who share my gender.
I can be sure that my gaming performance, good or bad, won't be attributed to or reflect on my gender as a whole.
My gaming ability will never be called into question based on unrelated natural biological functions.
I can be relatively sure my thoughts about video games won't be dismissed or attacked based solely on my tone of voice, even if I speak in an aggressive, obnoxious, crude, or flippant manner.
I can openly say that my favorite games are casual, odd, non-violent, artistic, or cute, without fear that my opinions will reinforce a stereotype that men are not real gamers.
When purchasing most major video games in the store, chances are I will not be asked if, or soon to be, buying it for a wife, daughter, or girlfriend.
The vast majority of game studios, past and present, have been led and populated primarily by people of my own gender, and as such, most of their products have been specifically designed to cater to my demographic.
I can walk into any gaming store and see images of my gender widely represented as powerful heroes, dastardly villains, and non-playable characters alike.
I will almost always have the option to play a character of my gender, as most protagonists or heroes will be male by default.
I do not have to carefully navigate my engagement with online communities or gaming spaces in order to avoid or mitigate the possibility of being harassed because of my gender.
I probably never think about hiding my real-life gender online through my gamer name, my avatar choice, or by muting voice chat, out of fear of harassment resulting from my being male.
When I enter an online game, I can be relatively sure I won't be attacked or harassed if and when my real-life gender is made public. If I am trash-talked or verbally berated while playing online, it will not be because I am male, nor will my gender be invoked as an insult.
While playing online with people I don't know, I won't be interrogated about the size and shape of my real-life body parts, nor will I be pressured to share intimate details about my sex life for the pleasure of other players.
Complete strangers generally do not send me unsolicited images of their genitalia or demand to see me naked on the basis of being a male gamer.
In multiplayer games, I can be pretty sure that conversations between other players will not focus on speculation about my attractiveness or sexual availability in real life.
If I choose to point out sexism in gaming, my observations will not be seen as self-serving, and will therefore be perceived as more credible and worthy of respect than those of my female counterparts, even if they are saying the exact same thing.
Because it was created by a straight white man, this checklist will likely be taken more seriously than if it had been written by virtually any female gamer.
These benefits should not be reserved for men.
This list is not meant to suggest that male gamers are always treated well.
Sometimes we are bullied or subjected to online nastiness,
but it's not based on or because of our gender.
In order to make change,
First, we need to acknowledge the problem.
And then we must take responsibility for it as a community.
So we can actively work together with people of all genders to dismantle the parts of gaming culture
that perpetuate these imbalances.
All people of all genders
must be treated with respect and dignity.
Together, we can make gaming better.
Together, we will make gaming better.
Alright, so now everyone's had a chance to listen to that fun little audio there. I have the transcript open right here, so let's go through it. So, transcript number 1, spoken by, actually I'm not going to go through each one, best to make it look very totally nervous, I know who these people are. So, number 1, I can choose to remain completely oblivious or indifferent to the harassment that many women face in gaming space. Now, Carbine here disagrees with this point.
And I will explain. Pat.
Concisely.
Okay.
And pass it loudly and aggressively.
So anyway, so what the transcript says, I can choose to remain oblivious because of the problems that face. What does it say? Okay. Basically, this goes both ways because you can choose, regardless of your gender, to be, ignorant to anybody's problems, especially when everybody is anonymous on the internet. So basically, if I have a problem, if I'm being bullied on the internet, and somebody on the other side of the screen is a girl, they literally do not have to care and just go on about their merry way. Right?
Okay, let roll. Because I haven't shopped this whole fucking time. So let's let roll lay the feminist smack down.
Okay. Because of the fact that it says he can be oblivious, it's purely. Alright. Now, it's purely stating he can be oblivious towards women. Now, there are many women who take great offense to that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's just the woman's side, though. Yes, the men can be also. Okay.
See, this is why we get nowhere because they're always distracting us.
All right, look. There's a lot of women that would take offense to that, but a lot of the time it's true. It's been brought up years back, and then people turn a blind eye to it, so they forget about this fact. That's why they brought it up back again.
But here's the thing: even if they do,
yank the mic away from the person who has X chromosome. 2 X chromosomes.
Get back.
Go back to your thing.
Anyway, even if they bring it up again, regardless of the fact that people can be bullied anywhere, regardless of gender, right?
Feminists, they aren't everyone is. They're specifically talking about...
Which is exactly why this is one-sided. Thank you very much. So pretty much, anyone can be bullied anywhere. So. And plus, people can choose to ignore it if they want to.
Roll wants to talk. Roll will speak.
But this is specifically towards gaming, not anywhere, not school, not at work.
I'm talking about gaming online, especially.
Yeah, but a lot of the times the woman could choose to either take offense or not, but a lot of the times they take offense to it, so a lot of the times they are completely oblivious to it.
But that's a matter of choice, is it not?
That's the point. He can't be okay. The whole point is he can be oblivious to the fact that women, in a lot of cases, are harassed more than men are in the video game space. And the reason he can be oblivious to it is because, guess what? He's a dude, bro. He's a dude. He's an X and Y chromosome. He identifies as a man. He looks masculine. So people don't fucking hurl gendered insults at him all day long so we can ignore it. That's what that means.
But here's the problem. The problem with that statement...
This is factually correct.
That's not entirely correct. And here is why. The fact of the matter is, regardless of gender, like, you can... you can basically... Anyone can literally choose to take offense or not, regardless of the gender, whether they're being harassed or not being harassed.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
Roll a rebuttal, and then we're moving on to 2.
But here's the thing, a lot of the times they do choose to be oblivious to it.
Exactly. Also, one quickie little rebuttal. You said you can choose to be offended or not. What kind of shit is that? That'd be like if someone was like, "Your mother's a whore. Please don't take offense to that." No, I'm gonna fucking break your fucking nose, you asshole.
Hold on, let me give you an example. Remember, Doug, there was one time I talked about this where people were trolling me on Extreme versus Full Boost. So this guy was talking all sorts of shit to me about my gender, my race, like all sorts of shit, right? But I choose not to feed the troll and ignore him.
One troll. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yes, that might be one way, but here's another thing. We are humans that have emotions. If we feel offended, well, there you go. We can't. You feel offended.
Yes, you're allowed to feel offended, but you don't need to react to it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's the point.
Okay, let's put it this way: if you're walking with Rolla and you're meeting Rolla after she's coming out of the mosque, and someone says something horribly Islamophobic to Rolla, would you not be fucking livid?
I would, but.
Oh, but you just said you shouldn't choose to be offended, though.
Do I choose to react to it or not? That is the case here.
I probably punched that guy.
Do I choose
Unless he was bigger than me, then I wouldn't. But
that is the point.
All right, we're moving on to 2 because we're not going to agree on anything here. So I am never told that video games or the surrounding culture is not intended for me because I am a male. I find that's like totally true. That's kind of incontrovertible in a lot of ways. Like no one ever tells like
that's because video games in the larger spectrum are made for everyone. You can't shrink it to one demographic.
No, that's true. Now I kind of think that in a way they're making like a straw man argument. Like, does anyone really tell girls, "Oh, these aren't for you because you're a gal"? I don't think so. But he's not wrong in that sentence. If that makes any sense. Does everyone kind of agree with that, or do you have something to say, Rolla?
No, I actually agree with this statement. Number 2 is because 3/4 of the time, the video games are made based on how the males would perspect to playing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
that is
so
true.
I see where you're coming from now. Okay.
Yeah, we see where you're coming from. Hold on, can I say something, please? Like for the Will you shut up? Anyway, so yes, a lot of the time, most of the time, the game is from the male perspective. However, this does not mean, that is representative of the person playing, nor does it mean that women aren't represented in games at all. As a matter of fact, no, that was something else.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, in today, with the gaming world today, there are a lot more women being prominent in video games, like Lightning, Seren from The Last Story, who's a really kick-ass character. There's Melia and Sharla from Xenoblade Chronicles. Bayonetta, which I find to be a kick-ass character, not because she is sexualized, but because of the content of her character. That's the point. Okay, judge me not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character.
Kneel down so it's easier for Rolla to just get a word in instead of beg for the microphone.
But again, all those kick-ass characters, do not deny they put in based on strength, based on physical motives. Like, for example, a lot of the times the girls are perceived as to be soft, gentle, and very feminine characters, right? Those characters...
Except for the new Lara Croft, who's pretty much like, hey, you're playing the Hunger Games game, except without Jennifer Lawrence. It's not taking place in that world.
Yeah.
She fucks people up.
But yeah, she kicks ass, right? It's all shown through strength-wise, and most of the time those women are actually not being so feminine.
They're masculine virtues.
They're masculine virtues, so that's why I'm saying 3/4 of the time it's really based. 3/4 of the time is based not on just a male's perspective, but they structure it on how a male would process through it.
They're strong values that are associated with masculinity, not strong values that are associated with femininity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the characters themselves are men, right?
No, she's talking about girl characters.
Girl characters.
Okay, well in terms of the female characters, right?
That's what she's talking about. The few ones that do exist are powerful because they have masculine traits, not.
That is not true.
Okay.
For example, Melia from Xenoblade Chronicles. She's a very classy woman. She still has most of her feminine, or what we consider as.
She can fuck people up.
So what? Is that not feminine? Is that?
Thing, bro.
Hey, I know a lot of women that can fight and are very strong. Rolla here is pretty athletic. That doesn't make her any less feminine.
Roland wants to elaborate on this.
No, it's true, I'm not any less feminine, but honestly, 3/4 of the time, I'm seeing more towards the guy's perspective. For example, 3/4 of the time, I'm hanging out with guys, so I'm more towards their interests.
But that's you on a personal level, right?
Not necessarily.
All right, and we're moving on to number 3. We're not gonna. I think we had like a good little mini talk on that. We're not gonna come to an agreement, so we're moving on to 3. All right, 3. I can publicly post my username, gamertag, or contact information online without having fear of being stalked, sexually harassed because of my gender. That's actually true.
That is actually incorrect.
That's totally true. Granted, if you're a dude, it's still fucking dumb. Don't do that. That's not smart.
That's the whole point. It's dangerous.
That
Why
said,
would you ever post
women get it fucking way worse.
No.
As someone who does online dating, who has some of their information publicly available, trust me when I say, if you were looking at my OkCupid account versus a female friends of mine OkCupid account, one will be like, oh man, that's so sad. The other one will be like, holy fuck, and you'll be traumatized and go, people are animals. And guess what? Guess whose inbox that will be? It won't be my inbox.
Look, for number 3, it's only half true. While most of the time the guys do not really get harassed by it.
They will, but
they will.
They will be harassed, but it won't be gendered harassment.
It won't be gendered harassment.
Really now?
Whereas with women, it'll more likely be gendered harassment. I'm not saying they don't get gendered harassed, but I'm saying it's more likely that women will than the men.
It is more likely the woman will, but men can also be sexually harassed. Actually.
Oh yeah, that is very true.
I'm not arguing.
No, I know you're not arguing,
Okay,
but that's why I'm saying number 3 is only half correct.
So we all agree.
Yeah.
Half correct. Okay.
All right.
So
on
4. Moving
4.
on. 4. I will never be asked to prove my gaming cred simply because of my gender. That's actually that's legit. That's a thing I've seen happen. I've been in places.
Been asked about my gamer cred because of my gender. That has happened to me. I have played online.
Okay, can I finish my sentence, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. I've tried. If you're a pretty girl and you like the video games, I've been in situations. I've been in the gamer store before where Carbine trying to be innocuous, right? Like I was trading game in or whatever, and I was gonna get Assassin's Creed 4, and he is innocuous. He didn't mean it this way, but he's like, oh, she's like, I don't play Assassin's Creed. Oh, she's like, oh, you're not big into the video game. Like he didn't say you're not into the video games, but she is. I don't know her directly, but I knew a dude who knew her, and he's like, oh yeah, totally, whatever. Because I told him a story that a different video game, like a different story in that store that was weird.
Okay,
I think it involved, anyway, whatever. So, but it came off kind of that way, which I know you didn't intend. And the only reason someone could kind of would immediately start seeing a conversation going that way and take a little bit of offense to it is if on a regular basis people come in there and go, hey, you just seem to be pretty face, bro. And that's a common thing. That a lot of people, a lot of women in that industry deal with. Like it's real. Like, okay, Rolla, do you want to talk? Let me talk first.
I also just want an example.
Okay, I have seen on a game called.
Give a different example.
I've seen on Onigiri where like somebody, I don't know who exactly, but like somebody on line said the most asinine thing you could possibly imagine. He's like, whoever this person said is like, can I please finish? Anyway. So basically, this person said like the most asinine thing is like, guys don't know what they're doing in games. I'm like, really? Really now? You mean to tell me that based on my gender, that I do not know what I'm doing? And most
based on your gender, bro.
And on top of that, if anyone would credit you on your gamer cred, it's because of your skill, not because of your gender. Okay. For example, I am playing BlazBlue online, and say, for example, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm talking about the internet. Thank you very much. So basically, what I'm trying to get across is that in the game, like, I'm probably getting my ass kicked is like, are you a real gamer? Like, are you actually good at this game? And it's because, yes, I am out of practice, which is why I'm not good at the time.
You're raging. I'm sorry. That's not gonna cut it right now. Look, Based on number 4, that one's actually more based towards the individual as opposed to.
Which is what exactly I'm saying.
No,
Thank you very much.
But it's more like.
If you want to say it as a whole, you would believe most of the time that's true, but when it comes down to it, that's actually more towards the individual as opposed to towards the gender.
Okay, but I do feel that
You
women
can-
do get it. Like pretty girls, I think, get it every so often.
I feel that when a pretty face comes in, they do tend to be antagonized.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they can't even see your face.
Yeah.
So how
Though,
can they tell?
though, to be fair, I feel 4 does pertain to women, but I think it more pertains to women in like the public, like the public area of the industry where they are going out and giving interviews. I think those are women who are more likely to get it. Whereas just like Jane Blow won't get it. I don't know. I can think of an analogy for Joe Blow. All right. So, but the next one kind of goes hand in hand with that. That's 5. If I enthusiastically express my fondness for video games, no one will automatically assume I'm faking my interest to get attention from other gamers.
Now I find this to be very, very disingenuous.
Oh, this shit fucking happens, bro.
No, but like, here's the thing, right? So
Keep this concise because
like,
I want to start powering through these.
Okay, I find this to be very disingenuous because, like, when, like, for say, like, most of the time when I see, like, a girl, like, keep in mind, like, in my college, in my university, like, when a girl walks in that room and she says, "Oh, I love games," like most of the guys that like, you know, react to it say, like, "Oh, that's so cool," right? Like, we love the fact that you are as passionate about gaming as we are, right? So
yeah, I'm not saying it's super widespread, but I'm saying it happens. Like I'm like it happens every so often. Again, I think this like 4 and 5 are mainly more about people who are more in the public eye than most people that we normally see.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're like, if you like say like you like say for
All right,
example, if
we're
I were talking about
we're talking in
video
circles. We're moving on.
Hold on, let me finish.
No, but you're just gonna say the same thing. We just kind of agreed.
You don't
we're
even
moving
know what
on.
I'm going to say. So say for example, like I'm outside of video games, right? And I'm talking to like some people, like regardless of their male or female or whatever, I'm talking about video games, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Obviously, they know that I'm not into video games, and I literally do not know what I am talking about.
Moving on.
Hey, we're moving on.
We're moving on right now.
Already got that.
All right, we don't want to bore people to fucking death. I can look at practically any gaming website, show, magazine, and see voices of people of my own gender widely represented. That's just true. Like, there's no really argument against that, unless. Yes, actually, I don't know. Does anyone here refute that? Rolla, do you want to refute that?
Not necessarily. Most of the time, you find it is more towards the male's view. Like, yeah, it's true. Every time a video game is made, most of the time when the video games are made or when they're on the magazine, it tends to be a male. Now, it's not because of the sexist thing. It's just that's just naturally happening.
Exactly. But here's the thing: when a game, because I've studied, you know, like marketing, right? And it's not to say that when somebody creates a character or when somebody like
we're talking about people who cover this. You're talking about that.
Okay, so like
you're gonna talk about why most people.
But you know what? In terms of that, I see a lot more.
Oh no, it's growing and it's a positive trend, but it's still the majority are Dubros.
But it's shrinking. It's a shrinking majority.
Yeah, and I think that's all right.
Okay.
So moving on. When you go to convention, I can be relatively certain that I won't be harassed, groped, propositioned, or catcalled by total strangers. Now, I think it's more about like the street harassment thing women face.
Yeah, that's tied to more that.
And I kind of think that's like true. Whether like how horrific it is, I think depends on the. To say every convention, I think is a bit much. I think it depends on the convention.
Yes, it does.
But you know,
by and large, as a dude, I won't get stopped to go for a girl to go look at that ass. I'll get stopped by a guy going, "Hey, can I buy pot?" And I'm like, "I don't sell drugs. Leave me alone." And that's kind of more likely what I'm gonna get. So
it's really based on the person in this case as opposed to females. However,
I think it is more likely that females that girls get that.
But you know what? That case is very super rare because like most of the time.
Rolla, you're a woman. Tell us about this.
Can I please finish? God. When I see most gaming conventions, especially when I go to gaming conventions myself, this is
right now.
Oh, shut up! You.
Okay, look.
I don't care about what privilege I have or don't have. The fact is that when most people, especially women, go to gaming conventions, the chances of her actually being sexually harassed is very rare.
That's if you're explaining if there's a crowd. If it's on their own, it's another story. If it's like, for example, okay, look, Anime North, for example, that's a convention right there. So tell me something, what if the girls are going to dress in cosplay outfits
Which everybody is, and I see men like half naked. You've seen it too, Doug. Yeah, but
no one fucking harasses them. The women, especially the women, are dressed in cosplay, and you know the anime dresses in cosplay.
Yes, I know.
There you go. But that's only more towards if it's evening, or maybe the fact when there's more individuals opposed to a whole group crowd.
And that said, though, I think it's fair to mention your costumes are consent. Like, it's just like you can't get these up. But nobody is saying that. Nobody's saying that costumes are consent. It's still wrong.
No, exactly. No, I know. But you have to admit,
super rare.
Unless you're cosplaying. At those things.
I'm saying even if you are cosplaying.
You don't know. You're not a pretty girl who's ever cosplayed, Mikkel. Leave it alone. All right.
Oh, don't start with that privileged bullcrap.
Okay, but you're using personal experience. I will never be asked or expected to speak for other gamers who share my gender. I say, as we have committed this crime several times on this podcast, I will now continue to do.
Okay, for this one, that one is only partial true. Only partial.
But we have done it several times.
You've done it several times. That's why I said it's only partial.
Okay, so which one is it? Sorry.
Number 8. I will never be asked or expected to speak about for all other gamers who share my gender.
Okay.
That one's only partial true. That's because in this case, it's more towards individual interests as opposed to male's perspective.
Exactly.
That's why I say it's only partial.
Like, nobody is asking you. Okay, sorry. Like, I can't.
Like, honestly, that
one. Be asked to speak for all other gamers who share my gender. Okay, so nobody is asking you to speak about, like a certain game, based on what other gamers say. No, this is like not even remotely true. Like, unless you're somebody like us who like reviews like games and like actually talks about games for a wide audience. Like when you're out on the street, like this is never true. You're not speaking on behalf of all gamers. You're just speaking for yourself.
No, you disagree, Roland?
No, I already said that it's only partially true because.
Okay, yeah. So we're moving on then. I think the problem goes hand in hand with this anyway. I can be sure that my gaming performance, good or bad, won't be attributed or reflect on my gender as a whole. Now
that is a fallacy for sure.
Now, let
like
Rolla speak into the microphone.
Okay, in this case,
keep yelling over everybody.
Okay, in this one, I don't agree with this one in particular because in terms of gaming performance,
that is based on the individual.
That's why I do not believe number 9 is correct. It's just based on the individual, not necessarily on the gender as a whole.
Remember, I gave this example about, my performance in Blaze Blue.
So that's not repeated. So let's move on.
Okay. My gaming ability will never be called into... Okay, this... Again, 10 and 9 are the same thing, pretty much, but I'll read it anyway. My gaming ability will never be called into question based on unrelated biological functions.
I highly doubt anyone.
We know what the inference is. Rolla, do you want to comment, confirm, deny, leave it?
No, I'm not going to comment on that one. That one's self-given right there.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
I can be relatively sure my thought